Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of Car Confessions, which is going to be short because it is too cold to be sitting in a parked car for any length of time. I even have my mittens on, so freezing. Which is actually a pretty good segue because in today's episode I want to talk about how it is important for us to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I am definitely uncomfortable right now sitting here in this cold car. But the reason this topic is coming up, I am doing a fat loss cycle right now. I tend to do one every year in the winter. I spend most of the year in what's called performance, and so I eat at a level that allows me to prioritize performance and recovery and building muscle. However, the responsible thing to do once in a while is to keep everything in check, to do a bit of a fat loss cycle so I can continue to wear the clothes I own, because I really don't want to buy a whole new wardrobe. So when you spend most of your time building muscle, working on performance, a little bit of fat is going to get added on. That's just the way it is. So I'm in the process of a fat loss cycle to get rid of some of that extra fat. And the thing with a fat loss cycle is you have to eat less food then you burn calories. And when you do that, you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable because you're going to be hungry. I have my calories built up throughout the year pretty high. So when I go into a fat loss cycle, I am taking a big deficit. I am essentially eating 800 to 1,000 calories less per day than I normally would eat. That is a lot. So my body definitely notices the difference. Today is day 19 of 28 and I'm feeling extra crabby and extra hungry and extra whiny about the fact that I would like to eat a tray full of cheeseburgers or an entire party pizza. But that's okay. It's all right. I know that I'm uncomfortable because I'm in this fat loss cycle. I know that it's just a short period of time. There is more food coming back my way. And what's that? I can't even do simple math. 9 days? 9 days. I've got food coming my way in 9 days. It's okay to be uncomfortable. And when we're uncomfortable, that's when change is happening. In this case, my body's using up stored fat, and that is what I wanted to do. There comes a point where we get uncomfortable, and a lot of times people pack it in and say, I wasn't comfortable, things were just getting too hard, and I just called it quits. But they were right at that moment when the magic was about to happen, when they were going up that mountain and they're almost to the peak, but they decided, no, the peak was right here, they were right here, they called a taxi from here and drove all the way back down instead of going those last few hundred feet to the top. So the next time you are working towards a goal and you get to that point where things are a little bit uncomfortable, not dangerously uncomfortable, but a little bit uncomfortable, try to just push through it a little bit further, because you might just be on the edge of finding that magic spot. So get comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable. That is it for today's episode of Car Confessions. I am going to go back inside where it is much more comfortable than being in this cold car. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you next week.